Welcome back to Reviewing All Comers. This is Season 2, Episode 1. We begin with WrestleMania as we did before. WrestleMania 23, live from my home state of Michigan in Detroit at Ford Field. Aretha Franklin's here. She sings the America the Beautiful. Does a great job. And we see clips of female wrestlers like Maria Kanellis with troops from Afghanistan. Franklin also has a choir with her, which is always nice. So we begin with the announce team of JR and the King. That's not all we got. We also got SmackDown announce team Michael Cole and JBL, who I think just retired at this point. Not super long ago. But again, that's not all. We also get ECW announcers, Joey Styles and Taz. So that's pretty cool. Okay. First match: Money in the Bank. King Booker versus Jeff Hardy versus Fit Finlay versus CM Punk versus Mr. Kennedy versus Matt Hardy versus Randy Orton versus Edge. It's going to be interesting. We'll rated RKO and the Hardy Boys in the same match. We have everyone talking at once since it's a hodgepodge of wrestlers from Raw, SmackDown, and even ECW. Edge tries, but gets pushed off. Jeff Hardy tries to get it, but he's pushed over as well. CM Punk's taking everyone out until Edge takes him out. Edge gets suplexed by CM Punk while Booker is taking Matt out. Spinebuster to Randy Orton, and another to Punk, and another one to Fit. Spinneroonie until Booker T gets taken out by the Hardys. Fit saves Edge, and Matt gets suplexed through a ladder. Kennedy tried to hit Matt with a Kenton, but Matt moves, and Jeff hits a Swanton. The Hardys take some hits from each other and get pushed over by Fit. Spear to Edge, Spear to Orton, Spear to Booker, Spear to Jeff, but misses Punk after he goes for a whirly-bird. He then gets speared by Edge. Edge gets a big ladder, climbs up, but gets caught by Randy. Jeff takes out Orton. Matt gets Edge onto a ladder, and Jeff takes him out. We get a Planet of the Apes quote, random. Orton takes out Matt. Kennedy Fit with an RKO. CM Punk gets Orton with a ladder, and they both climb ladders and an RKO to Punk. Booker then climbs the ladder, and Orton tries another RKO, but he gets a bookend instead. Matt Hardy is going to take Booker's shot away, and Sharmell was going to get a twist of fate, but Booker did instead, saving his wife. Fit then takes him off the ladder, and he's bleeding. Celtic Cross to Matt, but they both get some of the ladder. Hornswoggle is here to help Fit and win the match. He's not quite tall enough, and Kennedy fights Hornswoggle. Fit takes out Kennedy and continues to climb the ladder. CM Punk dropkicked the ladder and climbs the ladder slowly. Kennedy is back up, and they trade punches. And Kennedy hits Punk with a ladder. Kennedy climbs to the top, grabs the briefcase, and wins. Mr. Kennedy is Mr. Money in the Bank. I give this match a 4.5 stars. My favorite line on this was by Jerry the King Lawler. Quote, "I thought size didn't matter." We get a backstage promo with the new Mr. Money in the Bank. And I don't know if I like Mr. Kennedy. Jury's still out on that one. I feel like Money in the Bank match was I did write a script for this, but I'm not 100% sticking to it. I feel like the Money in the Bank match was me playing a WWE 2K match, just random people thrown together for no reason. We get an interpromotional singles match, the Great Khali versus Kane. Kane gets dominated by Khali, gets thrown out of the ring. Kane gets hit hard by Khali and body slammed. He's just getting manhandled. Some kicks, an elbow to Kane. He turns it around on Khali. He goes to the top, but gets punched, and all Khali is wrapped up in the ropes while Kane throws some hands. Kane gets a hook out as they trade blows. He gets a chop while Khali rips the turnbuckle open. Kane body slams Khali and pins him, but Khali kicks out. We get a double-handed choke slam, and Khali pins and wins. He then chokes Kane with a steel chain. Rating for this one is 2.5 stars. I think Great Khali sucks, and I don't know why they kept having him on shows, because he was awful. I don't have a favorite line for this one. Okay, so I wrote this like months ago at this point. Okay, so holy shit, we get a skit that starts with Crime Time and Eugene, Shad, and JTG. Get him some women so he can grind on them. Uh, he can grind on them since they are, and he sees Mula and May Young and dances on them, or dances with them. Sorry. While the others look on, we get interrupted by Slick, the former manager of One Man Gang, aka Hakeem, the African Dream. And then we get interrupted by Dusty Rhodes. And then Jimmy Hart, Sergeant Slaughter, and IRS join the party along with Howard Finkel, Mean Gene, Jerry Briscoe, and Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Ending with Ron Simmons saying, "Damn." I agree with Ron on that one. Then we get MVP versus Chris Benoit in a United States Championship match. We start with some mat wrestling, and MVP is in control until Chris gets a hold of MVP and is thrown out of the ring. Chris then tries to get him in the crossface, but MVP's ring awareness is amazing. Chris tries it again. MVP gets out. Chris takes over and puts MVP on the top rope. Chris gets hung up, and MVP's back in control and tries to injure Benoit's arm and shoulder. Chris gets a hold of him, gets a suplex city going before that was even a thing, and almost gets a win, but MVP kicks out. He throws Chris into the ring post, and MVP does a back body suplex and tries to get a back-to-back pin, but it didn't work. He misses a kick, but he gets it the second time. Chris goes for the crossface, but MVP gets out and does his ballin' elbow drop. Chris gets another suplex city going, diving headbutt to MVP. Benoit pins and wins and retains the U.S. Championship. Favorite line? I don't have one. Rating is a 4 stars. I know what Chris Benoit did just a few months after this, but I mean, you can't deny how good he was. We get a Donald Trump promo with a boogeyman. They go through the 2007 Hall of Fame class: Wild Samoans, Mr. Fuji, Jim Ross, Kurt Hennig, Jerry Lawler, Dusty Rhodes, Nick Bockwinkel, and the original Sheik. They announced the attendance at Ford Field at 80,103. We get Howard Finkel to announce the 2007 Hall of Fame class again. They mentioned a text poll they did, and I'm just remembering how much every show did that shit back then. It's a real throwback for me. Next, we get Batista versus The Undertaker, World Heavyweight Championship match. For Taker's entrance, we get Druids. I don't like when the champion comes out to the ring first, but this makes sense with the entrances and stuff. Batista at the beginning of this match looks like a cage animal, pun intended. We start with a spear from Batista, but The Undertaker takes him over. Back and forth, and Dave throws Taker out of the ring, but he landed on his feet. Batista just beats up the dead man, rolls back into the ring while Taker gets up, throws him back in, climbing the ropes to deliver a flying elbow. Big boot to Dave, but he comes back with a clothesline. Back and forth punches, and Batista continues the beating, but gets caught. Back and forth again, throws Dave into the corner and delivers 2 splashes, snake eyes, and a big boot. Leg drop and a cover, but Dave kicks out. Taker goes for old school choke slam to Big Dave, but he powers out. Misses a clothesline. Taker takes him down. Cover, but another kick out. Taker punches Dave so hard he gets thrown out of the ring. He throws him into the steel steps, clubs him with his elbow, and Taker gives a leg drop onto the apron. Taker jumps over the top rope and takes out Dave, bringing Dave with him, punches him, breaks the count, and reverse throw into the timekeeper's area. Batista returns to the ring, comes back to beat up Taker some more. He takes apart the announce table, the ECW announce table, which we'll see later. Power slam through the announce table. Batista breaks the count, rolls him back into the ring and covers him, but Taker kicks out. Dave continues his beating and a powerbomb, but Taker reverses and delivers 2 elbows to Batista. Belly to belly from Dave, but a kick out. Undertaker delivers the last ride, but Dave kicked out somehow with that. Undertaker now punches Dave, but Dave gives a spine buster to Taker. Chokeslam to Dave and another kick out. Taker was going for a tombstone, but Dave hits the Batista bomb, another kick out. He tried for a second, but Taker got out of that. Tombstone, and The Undertaker wins the World Heavyweight Championship. The streak expands to 15-0, which we'll eventually get to all of the streak matches, but as of right now, I think we're only up to 2. So, rating 4 stars. Favorite line? Don't have one for that match. We get a Vince backstage promo with Stephanie and what's supposed to be her oldest daughter, and he's like talking to the camera about all the things he's gonna do to Trump later on. ECW Originals versus the New Breed. We start with Sabu and Matt Striker. Sabu jumping from the middle rope and gets hung up. Tags Sandman for a leg drop. Elijah Burke gets tagged as the Tommy Dreamer. Dreamer gets hit. Burke tags in Corvan. All these guys I don't really know. Butterfly suplex by Corvan and tags Burke back in. Thorne tagged in and he beats up Dreamer. Sit-out powerbomb to Dreamer, but he kicks out. Corvan back into the ring. Suplex to Dreamer, but another kick out. Dreamer tries to get away, but Corvan does not give up. Dreamer tags in RVD. He takes out all the New Breed. RVD kicked to Thorne and monkey flip to Striker. Rolling Thunder and Corvan takes him out. Sabu takes him out. Dreamer gives Striker a DDT, but is taken out by Burke, who is then taken out by Sandman. RVD hits a frog splash onto Striker, pins, and the ECW Originals win. Rating 4 stars. Favorite line? Don't have one for that. We then get a video package for the Battle of the Billionaires, an entrance for a barber's chair, and a former Team Miss USA, and two Miss USA winners. Apparently, I cannot talk. Umaga versus Bobby Lashley. Umaga is representing Vince. Lashley is representing Trump. This is a special guest referee match with Stone Cold doing the honors. Umaga and Bobby run into each other with Lashley taking over a bit. Austin takes Bobby off of Umaga and covers him, but we get a break. Lashley takes it to Armando. Umaga gets the top rope taken down. Umaga gets put onto the ropes and he sidesteps a suicide dive. Umaga splashes Lashley, but he kicks out. Austin wants Umaga to break the hold, so he slaps his back. Umaga chokes Bobby, but Austin gets the 5, so he pulls his hair. Clothesline by Umaga, bonsai drop onto Bobby, and a second pin. Bobby throws some punches and gets a Samoan drop. Kick to Bobby, he hits the ropes and throws McMahon onto the floor, and Umaga gives him a DDT. Bobby throws Umaga off the top rope with a spear. Austin makes the match a no countout while Shane comes to his dad's side. Umaga kicks Lashley and beats him down in the corner as Austin takes Umaga off of him and he gets a Samoan spike. Shane is now in the ring to get Umaga up. He takes it to Lashley and Umaga hits him with a hip attack. Vince gets a trash can. They hold him in place. Shane to the top rope and a coast to coast. Shane takes off his button up and he now has a ref shirt on. Umaga to the top rope, splash, and a cover, but Shane's taken out of the ring and Austin's back in. Umaga with a second Samoan spike. Trump takes Vince down and Umaga gets a stunner. Lashley with a spear and pins and wins, which means Vincent Kennedy McMahon is getting his head shaved. He tries to run away, but Lashley picks him up, brings him back to the ring. Another stunner. Vince gets strapped in. Trump and Lashley take buzzers and cut his hair. They cut it all off. They shave it, all that stuff. Austin then stuns Donald Trump and leaves. Rating 4 stars. Favorite line? I don't have one for this match. We get a look at a match from earlier in the night. A lumberjack match with Ric Flair and Carlito versus Shane Helms and Chavo, with Flair and Carlito winning. This then brings us into the Lumberjill match, Ashley versus Melina for the WWE Women's Championship. We begin with Melina taking to Ashley, but she turns around quickly. Melina goes for a big swing and pins Ashley, but she kicks out. Ashley gets stretched and thrown face first onto the mat. Monkey flip to Melina and a dodged elbow. Pins Ashley, but she kicks out. Melina pins and wins and retains the Women's Championship. We then get a brawl with all the divas in the ring. Melina leaves. Rating 1 star. Favorite line? Lumberjill Pandemonium. Quoted by a JBL. John Cena versus Shawn Michaels WWE Championship match. Shawn's back in DX, so we get the DX theme here. We get an epic entrance from Cena with a dope Ford Mustang breaking through a WrestleMania painted glass. Shawn begins with a slap to the face and taking him down with a couple chops. Cena swings but can't really connect. Shawn connects with another chop though. Shawn takes down Cena, gets a 1 count. Another takedown, another 1 count. John slowly gets up, misses 2 clotheslines, but gets the third. Cena gets a shoulder tackle, but Shawn hits a Thez press. Shawn on the apron hip tosses Cena to the floor and takes another chop. Michaels hits an enziguri and a backflip onto Cena. Shawn gets Cena back into the ring, hits an elbow and a chop. Cena thrown into the corner, tries to stop him with a leg, but Shawn hits him and then kicks him while he's down. Shawn takes his leg, wraps it around the ring post. Shawn keeps the barrage coming, keeping his leg injured. Another chop and a kick by Shawn. Michaels bends Cena's leg around the rope. Cena misses a punch and Shawn with a chop at the back of the leg. More chops to Cena, and Cena slowly coming back. Shawn went for a corner spear, but Cena moved, and Shawn full on hit the post, but obviously he bladed. Cena's starting to make a comeback. We get a 5-knuckle shuffle from Cena and an FU attempt, but Shawn gets out, and a sweet chin music to Mike Chioda, the ref. Cena FU, but Michaels turns it into a DDT. Shawn takes the steel steps, power drives Cena onto the steps. Another ref comes in, and the pin is at 2, but Cena kicks out. Kip up by Shawn and an elbow drop to Cena. Shawn starts tuning up the band, but Cena hits him with a clothesline. Both men are down, but they rise to their feet, and rights are being thrown by both men. FU, but Shawn reverses. Shawn gets caught. FU finally gets hit on Shawn. 2 count. Shawn gets put onto the top rope, and John with a fireman's carry, but Shawn gets out of that and gets Cena down. Hits him with a crossbody. Cena rolls through, and second FU, but Shawn kicks out of that one. Sweet chin music misses, and Cena gets the STFU onto Shawn. He finally gets it locked in. Shawn slowly going into the ropes, and he gets the break. The ref yells at Cena. Shawn kicks Cena's head off with sweet chin music. Pins. Cena kicks out. Cena gets another STFU on Michaels in the middle of the ring, and Shawn taps out. Rating 4 stars. Favorite line. Jerry the King Lawler yelling FU a whole bunch. Final rating on this show, I'm going to give it a solid B. There's some good stuff, not a whole lot of good stuff, but the good stuff is really good. Thank you everybody for listening, and I'll see you on Thursday.